hard to get a picture, Dewardric, of what's happening in China, given the rolling zero COVID tolerance policies and these lockdowns that we've been seeing. What is your best sense of what's happening on the growth front?
Well, Sarah, thanks for having me. Look, I think you hit it on the head. There are challenges in China, certainly as we go into the end of the year. The August numbers came in better than expected, but Sarah, there was still some bad news in those numbers, particularly around global demand for Chinese goods, which, as you know, has been the booster for Chinese economy over the last several months, has been the crutch. But those numbers down to 7.1% year over year. That's down from 18.1%. So, without that growth boost from exports, I think we're in for some real headwinds for China. We've heard some announcements again this week from Premier Li Keqiang talking about ways in which he hopes to boost the economy. A lot of that was through tax incentives and tax breaks for the manufacturing sector. But yet again, Sarah, the policy prescriptions don't seem to match the problems, in that the big issue that we're experiencing is a real slump in Chinese demand. And so there's going to have to be a way to address zero COVID, as you said, and get people confident and spending again in China, because I think as inflation starts to bite globally, they cannot rely on exports to really prop up the economy as we move into the end of the year.
Well, I did note that the Moderna CEO this week said that he was having discussions with the Chinese government. Could that be a game changer?
Sarah, this one is really interesting. As you well know, China is relying a lot on its domestic produced vaccines, which is not mRNA vaccine. If something like this were to happen, I certainly think from a psychological standpoint, I want to preference that this could be a real boost for the markets, at least. However, we want to be careful here, because what we don't know is what will the adoption rates be in China for this foreign vaccine, whether or not you would need a vaccine mandate, and how will that work? And then just how long will it take to get the number of people that need to be vaccinated for this to be advantageous to China? How long would it take for them to do that? And then the final point, Sarah, is zero COVID. We're obviously aware that Xi Jinping is politically tied to this policy. And so how easy will it be to unwind this, even if we get the mRNA vaccine from Moderna? Good news, but I would be very, very cautiously optimistic that it can happen fast and happen in time enough to have a rebound at the closing of the year here.
Yeah, I would also note we slipped past a really key level on the dollar versus the Chinese yuan, 7, which shows you some of the pain that you're talking about. So if you're a U.S. investor in a company, international paper today, I don't know if you saw, a huge loser. Jefferies downgraded it. They cited capacity issues and container board. But one of the reasons was also problems with exports from China because of the zero COVID policy. So if you're a U.S. investor in one of these companies exposed either on the consumer side or on the production side, what do you do?
Well, unfortunately, Sarah, and I hate to say this, there's not much that can be done in the short term. And I think we're all in a sort of a wait and see game to see just how things will happen on the backside of the 20th Party Congress on October the 16th. See if there will be some sort of policy shifts that can quickly turn things around. I'm doubtful, though. And so I think, unfortunately, we're going to close out the year with a lot of headwinds in China, and you just have to bite your nails and hold on until we get into 2023, where we're hoping to see some of the policy reversals that we're seeing in the development and property sector and the tech sector. These things are taking time to really have an impact, but let's hope in 2023 we will start to see that turnaround in China.